guys, so I'm here to do my December book haul. Pretty self-explanatory, so let's get into the books. I want to start with the 3 books I ordered from Verso's website because all throughout December Verso are doing 50% off all of their books, and as soon as I saw this I obviously had to place an order. I got a couple of Christmas presents and I also got 3 books for myself, so you will be seeing this when the offer is still on, and I just wanted to flag it up to you in case you're interested in any of their catalogue. The 3 books I picked up include Red Rosa, which is a graphic novel that I've had my eye on for a while, but since I actually read some of Rosa Luxemburg, who this book is about, earlier this year, I knew I had to read more about her life, and I think a graphic novel form is always a fun way to do that. This is a graphic biography of Rosa Luxemburg by Kate Evans, and it's black and white inside. It looks like this, and yeah, it just essentially takes you through Rosa Luxemburg's life in the late 18 and early 1900s. She was a political activist and thinker, and she was eventually murdered by a far-right group in Germany, but before then she managed to make quite a mark on the world, and I would love to read more about her as well as more of her work, so this will definitely help me on that journey. I also picked up If They Come in the Morning, Voices of Resistance, edited by Angela Y. Davis. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will know that I adore Angela Davis. Again, she is a political activist. She was around throughout the civil rights movements in the US. She's still alive today. If you watch the documentary 13 on Netflix, which is all about the American prison system, she's actually in that. If you want to see her talking, she's amazing. I actually read her book all about prisons, which was also fantastic, and some of her other work and loved it, but like I said, this is edited by Angela Davis, but that was enough to have me interested. It's from the Verso Radical Thinkers series, which are all in these lovely designs, quite simplistic, with different kind of bold colours, and this one is a collection of different essays by different people. We have contributions from Angela Davis, but other writers as well, and you might be able to tell from the subtle cover, this is also about the American prison system, and it's actually a much bigger book, and obviously with a wider range of people writing in it than Are Prisons Obsolete, which was the other book I read by Angela Davis, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. And lastly, about UK politics as opposed to the US, I have The New Poverty by Stephen Armstrong. This is a more recent release, whereas this book originally came out in the 1970s, I believe, and this is a new edition. This one came out recently. It came out in 2017, yeah, I thought it was this year. The front pretty much sums it up. In 2020, 18% of children will live in absolute poverty. 2/3 of families living in poverty are in work. Nearly 1 million people work 0-hour contracts, which I doubt very much that 1 million people don't require the payment of full-time work. So it's essentially about how we can talk today about how much of the UK's in employment. Apparently we're in record levels of employment, but the extent to which that employment does not actually meet people's needs, maybe because it's part-time employment, or because the minimum wage isn't the living wage, or because they have 0-hour contracts and aren't getting the work they need, or even the fact that people can earn less than minimum wage essentially by getting paid for certain pieces of work like deliveries, but the time it takes actually adding up to more than they're getting paid, if that makes sense. But yeah, so this is very much about what it's like to live in the UK right now, and it's very relevant, it's very important. Who else Rosa Luxemburg is still on your mind, hopefully. I thought I'd mention this little book, and this was a gift to me from someone who is basically like a second mum to me, Diane, and this is a Rosa Luxemburg, A Rebel's Guide to Rosa Luxemburg by Sally Campbell. This is published by Bookmarks, which are also a bookshop in London. If you're ever in London, they're a pretty fantastic bookshop, and they publish a whole series of these little books. I've actually got a few of them. I think I've got Lenin, Trotsky, maybe Gramsci and Marx. My mum picked me up some a while back, and I'm just building up a little collection, as it looks like they're just tiny little introductions to different left-wing figures, and this is Rosa Luxemburg's one, so I'm excited to read this as well. Moving on from politics, but not from non-fiction, the next book I actually picked up from my work, and it is What We See in the Stars, an illustrated tour of the night sky by Kelsey Oseid, and this is stunning. It has to be one of the most beautiful books I've seen all year. closely tied with another book I'm going to share with you, but it's also illustrated inside, which makes it all the more beautiful, and it is essentially what the title suggests. It is an introduction to constellations and space and planets and solar systems and everything beyond the planet Earth, with gorgeous illustrations. And it's not necessarily for children, it's not dumbed down at all, it's for all ages. It's really genuinely interesting non-fiction information about space, and I just think it's absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to read more of it. Sorry, I just adjusted the brightness slightly because we are losing light. I did mention I had another beautiful book though, didn't I? And this one was sent to me by Faber and Faber out of the blue. I was not expecting it, but wow, was I pleased to see it in my post, because it is this gorgeous book that Faber have done in collaboration with Liberty of London, which is why it has the most beautiful printed cloth bound cover. It's the Faber Book of Christmas in collaboration with Liberty London Fabrics, and it is essentially a collection of various short stories around the festive season, going all the way back to the classics. So we've got Charles Dickens is definitely in here. Who else do we have? Let me have a look. We've also got people like Dylan Thomas, Philip Larkin, and a variety of other authors bound together in what is just the most stunning book. Can you just appreciate this? I am in love. I don't think I own anything as beautiful as this. I was then also sent a couple of books by Penguin, which I did request. They sent me a couple of books as a sort of Christmas present and let me pick the two I would like. Of course, the first one I said I would love to have a copy of is Mythos by Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry, I'm sure you're all familiar with, is quite a famous UK presenter and comedian and actor, and this is his version of the Greek myths, or a select number of the Greek myths he's decided to retell, and I'm very intrigued to see how I get on with this one. Obviously I have a slight advantage or disadvantage in that I can be a little bit judgmental of books in this genre, but I love them, and if they're done well I just think they're so important and they're so wonderful to see, and really open up classics to everybody and bring it to life in a new way for somebody like me who's already familiar with it. So I hope this falls into that category. I then also requested Body Positive Power by Megan Jane Crabbe, or Crab, aka Body Posy Panda on Instagram. So I follow her on Instagram only as of recently. I found out about her through another video about body positivity, which I'll link down below, and oh my goodness, do I love her Instagram account. And when I saw that Penguin had this book, I really wanted to check it out. It's all about body positivity, and I just think it looks absolutely stunning. How to stop dieting, make peace with your body, and live. Yes, please. Although I, like most people in this day and age, have my ups and downs, and I think it's always nice to have these kind of inspiring, uplifting, empowering reads to just kind of reinforce what you should already know. And lastly, from Penguin, I have a book I picked up at the Penguin Christmas party. So I went to the Penguin platform Christmas party, and they had some books lying around that you could take away, and the one I picked up was British because Sana basically said I had to read it. She was like, take this, put it in your bag, you must read this. And I thought, okay, I trust Sana, I trust her. On the back it says, where are you from? No, where are you really from? You're British, your parents are British, you were raised in Britain, your partner, your children, and most of your friends are British, so why do people keep asking you the same question? And I think it's going to be very current. It's obviously about national identity and racism, I imagine, and all of that other stuff. And yeah, Sana just said it was excellent, so that's all I needed. And last but certainly not least, I have my Page Habit box. Page Habit are a subscription service that send out a book every month, and they very kindly give me a free subscription. I'm not in any way obligated to share these with you, and I'm not being paid, but I have received this for free, so I'm going to show you what I got in this month's box. So first up, and most importantly, is the book, which, as you might be able to tell, is full of post-it notes. So what makes Page Habit unique is they have the author annotate the book that comes in each month's box, so you get a little bit of insight and behind the scenes of what the author was thinking when they were writing the book, and it's a really lovely addition. And I'm subscribed to the thriller box, so I get a thriller every month, and this month I got Little Broken Things, a novel by Nicole Bart, and I'm just going to read the back to you because I haven't heard of it before. But it says, when Quinn Cruz receives a cryptic text message from her older sister Nora, she doesn't think much of it. They haven't seen each other in nearly a year, and their relationship consists mostly of infrequent phone calls and the occasional email. But when a haunted looking Nora shows up just hours later, a chain reaction is set into motion that will change both of their lives forever. It's a matter of life and death, of family and freedom, and the lengths a woman will go to protect the one she loves. Sounds really good, and like I said, I've been reading a lot of thrillers recently, and I'm looking for something a little bit different, and maybe some thrillers that stand out in the way they're written. So hopefully this one impresses me. I'm definitely intrigued, which is all you really need to go into a thriller with, and I do like the little addition of the sticky notes, so looking forward to reading this one. I then got a tote bag with this sort of landscape design on it. I don't know if this is a place that I'm meant to recognise, but it's cute and you can never go wrong with a tote bag. It then also came with this, which looks like a book, but it's not. It's a little box. How cute is that? So you could hide stuff in this by putting it on the bookshelf, or you could just have it out and put things in it. I need to think of something to put in this. I think it's absolutely lovely. A book magnifying glass. This is a bookmark that also is a magnifier, which is actually pretty handy since I'm always forgetting my glasses. And a short story. So you also get a short story in every box. And this one's called The Cross-Eyed Bear. I think these are specifically commissioned for the box. So a really cute little addition there. That's everything in my Page Habit box and everything for this book haul though. So I hope you have enjoyed it. I'm sorry the lighting's pretty dismal, but what can you do? It's this time of year. It's not even 3 o'clock and it looks super dark outside. But I'm just going to go off and read some of my books now. Do let me know if you have any thoughts on any of the books I've mentioned in this video, especially if you have read any of them. I'd love to know what you think of them. And until next time guys, happy reading. I'll see you all again soon. Bye!